An interactive animation studio launches, NVIDIA drops some seriously powerful hardware, and I've got an After Effects tip for you that will save you a crap load of time. It's Motion Mondays. Let's ride. With the rise of shows like Arcane, achieving that faux hand-painted 3D look has become incredibly popular. Blender artist Tawan Sunflower just released a free add-on that brings Photoshop-style layer painting directly into Blender. You can set up layers and paint right onto geometry, even using custom brushes for organic effects. One of the coolest features is painting directly on alpha channels, letting you blend 2D masking with 3D geometry. The tool sits on top of Blender's shader system, so everything you paint actually creates nodes you can tweak later. You can even paint normal maps for interesting lighting effects. The add-on is available on Gumroad as a pay-what-you-want download. If you're using it professionally, of course, toss Tawan a few bucks, but you can try it right now for free. This is just one example of the amazing tools coming out of Blender's open source community, making the software more powerful every day. And be on the lookout for our first Blender course dropping in just a few weeks. All the details will be on this channel. Here's a time-saving After Effects trick for when you need to crank out multiple versions of an animation. To demonstrate this, I'm using a template from our friends at Motion Array, who have a ton of resources for artists to help you get stuff done quick and dirty. But it'll work with any comp. So let's say you've got this animation and you need many versions of it with different names. Instead of manually updating text in each comp, you can use expressions to pull text directly from comp names. It's like teaching After Effects to read. Start by naming your comp with the text you want, and then add an expression to your text layers, which grab the current comp's name, and then using the split operator with a space as the argument. This breaks the comp name into pieces wherever there's a space. For first names, grab index 0. For last names, use index 1. And yes, arrays in After Effects start at 0 because computers are weird like that. Here's the magic part. Once you've got your expression set up, you can duplicate comps, rename them with new names, and watch as all your text layers update automatically. No more diving into pre-comps or hunting down text layers. The best part? You can extend this technique way further by getting creative with your expressions. If you want to add titles, job descriptions, extra formatting, the sky's the limit. It's perfect for those projects where clients want 50 different versions, and you'd rather spend your time doing literally anything else. If this kind of expression wizardry gets you excited, check out our expression session course where you'll learn to bend After Effects to your will using the dark art of coding. The possibilities are endless, and your carpal tunnel will thank you. Some positive news from LA amidst the truly awful wildfire situation. Laundry is hosting another Safe Space LA meetup on Thursday, January 23rd, focused on learning 3D. The lineup features 3 heavyweight speakers, our own EJ Hassenfratz, real-time wizard Jonathan Winbush, and the incredibly talented Jess Hewitt. These events tend to sell out fast, so grab tickets while you can and follow Safe Space LA for future announcements. The link will be in the description. A quick heads up for creative teams of 3 or more. Our team training program has been bringing in some major companies. I really wish we could name those, but you get instant access to every School of Motion course, unlimited critique, our 24/7 global community, monthly live streams, quarterly accountability groups, and more. We've made it super simple with consolidated billing and floating seats. Our upcoming Blender course launches on the platform soon, and we've got great case studies showing how teams are already benefiting on our site. For more info, just reach out on our team training page on the site, check out the link in the description, and pass it on to whoever handles training at your company. Maxon just acquired Laubwerk, adding hundreds of detailed plant assets to their toolkit. The library features photoreal trees, foliage, and materials that are perfect for things like world building and architectural visualization, or for motion designers looking to add a bit of Mother Nature to your work. The tools let you view models in different ways, from low poly modes for quick placement to full geometry for final renders. You can control leaf density, tree age, and even choose between different seasonal variations. It's a powerful addition for any artist needing to add some nature to their work. Check out the press release for more details. The link is in the description. Let's highlight some mind-bending work. First up, Andrea Love's stop-motion masterpiece, a fireworks display crafted entirely from felt. While you could probably fake this look in After Effects or 3D, stop-motion's tactile imperfections give it that special something that you just can't replicate digitally. The piece looks deceptively simple, but anyone who's done stop-motion knows the patience required for each frame. Andrea's portfolio is packed with felt-based animations that showcase her unique approach to the medium. Definitely worth a look. Meng Shuilin shared a fascinating peek into his process for a promo for the After Effects plugin Speed. His initial style frames use simple, purposeful design that implies motion before anything moves. When you see the final animation, it perfectly demonstrates the professional workflow of designing style frames and storyboards before jumping into production. You don't need fancy designs when you've got solid fundamentals, and Meng consistently drops these kinds of process insights on social media, so he's definitely worth following. David Daniels is doing something wild with his strata cut technique. He builds massive clay sculptures with internal color patterns specifically designed to be sliced. Each cut reveals a new frame of animation, creating this trippy extrusion effect combined with what looks like physical cell animation happening inside the clay. The results are mind-bending, like something you'd see after eating questionable mushrooms in Amsterdam. Not that I know anything about that.
Sure.
His Instagram is full of these experiments that push the boundaries of what's possible with physical animation. And finally, Melody Shih just wrapped up her time at Fable, the animation software startup that recently closed its doors, and her portfolio is an absolute masterclass in presentation. Her perfectly curated thumbnails showcase an impressive range of styles, and her work at Fable includes some fascinating projects creating motion libraries, preset animations that users could select instead of animating from scratch. This kind of work, bridging traditional motion design with interactive elements, represents where our industry is heading as the lines between linear and interactive design continue to blur. Her portfolio site is worth studying not just for the amazing work, but as an example of a perfect portfolio presentation. Melody, I'm sure you will have plenty of options with your killer body of work. Joey Judkins just launched We Ride at Dawn, an interactive animation studio inspired by Rive. The studio site showcases Rive's capabilities beautifully, from mouse following wise men to a fully playable piano. Their work for Linus Academy, creating over 200 animated poses for their character mascot, hints at the explosion of interactive animation work coming our way. Joey's character animation expertise shines through every interaction, and we are rooting for this new studio. So congrats to Joey, and I expect big things. V-Ray's photorealistic rendering power has finally arrived in Blender. The beta release includes CPU, GPU, and hybrid rendering, built-in denoising, and an extensive shader system. Ask NK's walkthrough shows off impressive results that rival Cycle's, especially for certain types of work. For artists needing industrial-strength rendering, V-Ray's Chaos Cloud service also offers unlimited rendering power. It's another sign that Blender is becoming increasingly viable for professional work, and yet another reason we're so excited about it at School Motion. David Boscalo just dropped version 2 of KEase, and it's a sweet-looking tool for After Effects animation. Beyond the usual presets and beautifully designed graph editor, its killer feature lets you add control points directly in the plugin that translate to perfectly eased keyframes on the timeline. You're no longer limited to easing between just 2 keyframes, create complex multi-keyframe animations, and save and apply them as presets. The interface shows real thought, and at $25 with a free trial version, it's definitely worth checking out if you do a lot of animation work. Jay Geldenhayes, part of our All Access program and a 2-time student spotlighter, knocked it out of the park with his animation bootcamp Eyes Go Here exercise. This advanced assignment tests your ability to choreograph lots of elements, controlling exactly where viewers look on the screen. Jay's slightly jerky, playful style gives this piece unique personality while nailing the fundamental principle of eye trace. He's almost done with animation bootcamp and crushing absolutely every assignment, so congrats, Jay. Big news from the Golden Globes. The Blender-created Flow beat out heavyweights like Moana 2 and Wallace and Gromit for Best Animated Film. The movie beautifully blends realistic lighting with hand-painted textures similar to Spider-Verse's aesthetic. A French conference presentation revealed their clever pipeline tricks using Blender in unique ways to pre-visualize scenes before animation. The presentation's in French, but you can use YouTube's auto-translate feature to follow along, and there's a ton to learn here. It's more proof that it's not about the tool, it's about the team. And by the way, the film is amazing, highly recommended. James Lee, known for his uniquely animated YouTube persona, just dropped a video that goes deep into why he's switching to DaVinci Resolve and Fusion for compositing, Reaper for audio, and, plot twist, Linux for his operating system. His signature style of treating himself like a real-life character rig makes even technical discussions super entertaining. While James is clearly a bit of a contrarian, his insights into alternative tools and workflows are definitely worth considering, and the style he puts into his videos is super unique and cool to watch. Check out his channel, the link will be in the description. Marco Silva's Area Sense brings Cinema 4D MoGraph-style tools to After Effects. Create proximity-based effects with one click instead of wrestling with complex expressions. The demo shows impressive possibilities, and while you could set this up manually if you know expressions, Area Sense saves you massive amounts of time. At just $3 minimum, name your price, it's a no-brainer for motion designers who need MoGraph functionality in After Effects. Thank you very much, Marcos. Adobe's VP of AI, Alexandru Kostin, says we're moving from the prompt era to the controls era of AI. Instead of just typing prompts and hoping for the best, Adobe's focusing on giving artists precise control. At Adobe Max's Sneaks presentation last year, Project Perfect Blend demonstrated this by automating tedious photo bashing compositing tasks while maintaining precise artist control. Project Remix-a-Lot lets you sketch compositions and generate variations for different aspect ratios. I think it's a smarter approach to AI that empowers rather than replaces artists, and hopefully saves a lot of time too. Check out the Creative Block article for more details on how Alexandru and Adobe are thinking about AI. NVIDIA's RTX 5090 is landing January 30th, and it's a beast for 3D artists. Beyond the technical specs, 32 gigabytes of GDDR7 memory, upgraded CUDA cores, 40% faster performance, One potential game changer is DLSS4. This AI-powered feature generates in-between frames in real time, potentially revolutionizing Unreal Engine workflows. For render engines like Redshift, Octane, and V-Ray, you're looking at faster ray tracing, better particle effects, and cleaner depth of field, all with minimal noise. The $2,000 price tag might sting a bit, but for professional 3D work, the performance gains could totally justify the investment. Check out Enfant Terrible's YouTube channel for mind-blowing tech demos showing real-time ray tracing, subsurface scattering, and more at ridiculous frame rates. When the card is available and we see some examples of motion designers using it, we will keep you posted. Cinema 4D developer Kengo Ito just dropped XBarista, a better Xpresso editor that's been long overdue. The beta version works with Cinema 4D 2024 and 2025 and adds quality of life features like color-coded ports, visible node comments, and a cleaner interface. For anyone who's spent time wrestling with C4D's aging Xpresso editor, this is a welcome upgrade. It's available now as a name-your-own-price download, though keep in mind it's still in beta, maybe test it out before dropping it into production. The link will be in the description. That wraps up another packed edition of Motion Mondays. Remember to check out our team training program if your company has 3 or more artists interested in the ultimate motion training. Seriously, there's nothing else like it. And as always, links to everything we covered are in the description. Please hit that subscribe button. Have an amazing week, and we'll catch you next Monday.